Grand rising, grand evening, whatever time it is for you. So, today's video and message is going to be quite personal. There was a time in my journey where I was very vocal, very open about what was going on in my personal life and experience. A time when I was speaking to my personal testimonies, the things that I transcended and survived. And I strongly believe that there is a time and a space for every version of self. Well, this cycle of my life, this part of my path and my journey, I'm quite private about my personal life. And I think that this comes with spiritual maturity, right? But today, I'm being guided to speak from the heart and just share some personal truths on my birthday, my solar return. I'm 34 years old today. Because it's easy to watch very balanced and peaceful and tempered people go through life, express and share, especially for people who are internal processors. There's often this preconceived notion sometimes here in the spiritual community that people whose baseline is peaceful, tempered, and balanced are always in that state. And I think it's important for we in the spiritual community who are front-facing, tempered and peaceful and grounded to also at times share in our vulnerabilities as well as some of that internal processes and the things that happen out of the gaze of the external. Today is my birthday. And from about 4:45 a.m., I woke up and I have done nothing but cry. I cried for hours, and only recently, after processing, am I in a space, in a place where I can share. You know, in the world, we have people who are external to internal processors. These are people who share while in an emotional space and state in order to internally process. Then there are others who internalize everything and process first before speaking, before moving, before exuding. Both of these ways of processing are natural and just as effective. I just so happen to be an internal to external processor. And like I said in the beginning of this video, there was a cycle and a time in my life where it was part of my path to speak out, to whistle blow, to share all of the things, out under the light of the sun. But this part of my journey and this part of my past, or my path, has been a really an act of cultivating sovereignty and recognizing that not everything that I come to understand and know needs to be shared. However, today has been very bittersweet for me. I am immensely grateful and I feel eternally blessed that I've been given another year of life. In that same token, I also recognize what I have had to sacrifice in order to have this life, this new year that I've been gifted. We don't often speak on how with great peace and people who exude peace, that peace is cultivated from processing immense pain and grief. I have done a lot of internal work on my path. I have been able to heal and integrate a lot of wounds and a lot of shadows. But there is one wound that I cannot heal simply by going within internally. Today I am the embodiment of two polarities. These two things, opposing things, that are true simultaneously. They are not mutually exclusive. I am both eternally grateful and blessed to have this new year of life. But I also am feeling immense pain and grief for not having my children with me. Now, as I stated before, I do a lot of internal processing. So when I go out in the world, when I come on this platform and speak, people don't see, that process. There is not a day that goes by or a night that goes by that I do not long for, miss my babies. I can feel them daily, and I don't care how that sounds. I can feel them. I can feel when they're hurting. I can feel when they are longing and pulling on my energy. I can feel them. I miss my babies daily. And when we talk about peace, right? When we talk about balance, when we talk about being in alignment, when we talk about being alive, there's so many people who deeply resonate with my experience and will understand what I'm about to say. We don't talk about the immense sacrifice that we take when we are walking this narrow path. I wouldn't wish the choice and decision that I had to make as a mother on anyone. It is a type of pain. It is a type of longing, and it is a type of wound that nothing can heal internally. Because it is unnatural for a mother to be separate from her children, right? And in my specific circumstance, I know that I have shared everything that needed to be shared. I have done everything that I can do. And I have given it to God, the entire situation. And I stand in full faith, unshakable and unwavering faith, that my children and I will one day be reunified. I can be both fully trusting of the unfolding of my experience, the outcome, and trust my situation in God's hands, while also recognizing that the pain and the longing of being with my babies is not something that's going to dissipate. It is something that I live with every day. And as I stated before, I wouldn't wish the choice that I had to make on anyone. I stand in knowing that had I not made the choice that I made, I would not be here. There would not be an opportunity for reunification with my children. There would be no opportunity for rebalance or restoration to that experience in that situation. What good would I have been if I wasn't here anymore? To have to be placed in that situation, it is an impossible decision, and I wouldn't wish on anyone. It is such an impossible decision. And yet some of us know this pain, this grief. We've had to take and make that impossible decision. Life or exit. Sometimes here in the spiritual community, those are the cards we are dealt. Had I not made the decision that I made on my path, taken my child that is with me, and exited that situation and that environment, I would not be here right now. And what good would I be to my children if I no longer exist? So I can hold these opposing energies and beliefs within me, and I do. I fully and wholly trust in the unfolding of my experience. I fully and wholly know that all will work out for the highest good of everyone involved. And I see and recognize why things had to play out the way that they did. I also recognize that this specific wound, this specific wound is not something that can be healed by simply my hand alone. That it will be healed through ethical justice and retribution being carried out by a power higher than my own. I can sit here and recognize that there are certain things in my experience that are outside of my realm of control. It is those things that I have fully surrendered and released to God to bring back into balance, to rectify, to heal in divine timing. And I trust in that divine timing, wholly and fully, with everything in my being. And I know I have a deep integral knowing that everything is working out for the highest good. And I also know that my longing that I have for my babies, me missing them, me feeling them, the tears I shed for them, is going to be and continue to be an integral part of this current experience and this current cycle that I am in. And so again, today is my 34th birthday. I am eternally blessed and grateful for this year, this new year of life that has been gifted to me. And my heart breaks in tandem for what I've had to sacrifice in order to be here this year. And you know, you might be asking, why share this on camera? Why are you on camera crying? Because I think it's important for people to know that they're not alone in their grief and their suffering. And especially those of you in the collective who have walked this narrow path right along with me, or who are walking this narrow path, and who have similar experiences. You know the magnitude of the things that you have had to sacrifice and step away from simply to have the opportunity to continue to breathe and push forward and move. And I want whoever resonates with this video, with my words, with this grief, with this pain, to know that you're not alone. You are not alone. There are so many beautiful, pure-hearted souls on the planet right now who are sharing in this very same grief with you. Your private processing moments where you allow yourself and give yourself the time, space, and grace to feel all of your feelings. You allow these things to rise up so they can be seen, held, felt, and processed, so that you can continue moving forward boldly with perseverance and strength. It is not easy to cultivate peace. It is not easy, always easy to stand in faith. But as I'm sure many of you have come to understand and realize, there's simply too much evidence to back up why standing in faith, why surrendering and releasing what is out of your hands and out of your control always works out in the end. I know I certainly have seen the evidence of this time and time again. I look around in my life currently and I cry. Look, guys, I'm a crier. I may, not come off that way all the time, but I feel everything. Like all the things all the time. I feel everything. I feel the collective wounds. I feel the collective healings. I feel all of the things all of the time. It's a lot to process. But anyways, this is a really candid video, and I don't know who it's going to resonate with, or even if it's going to resonate with anyone. I just feel guided to share my vulnerability, my personal path, and just a little bit of humanity, right? Because it's easy to always show our best face, right? Show ourselves when we're at our strongest, when we are at our most balanced, when we are, I don't know, but I think it's important to also share all of our truth. And the truth is that some of the most peaceful, strong, stable, and temperance people process unfathomable amounts of pain and grief. And they do that while still feeling immensely grateful for all of the experiences that cause the pain and the grief. It is such an interesting thing to house these two opposing like polarities. It's quite the experience. And so it's my birthday, so I'm just going to talk about what I want to talk about, and this is what I wanted to share. I want to share the raw truth about people who are immensely peaceful and tempered. Anyways, I was thinking, I received so much love from the beautiful people in my life right now, people who see me, people who know me, know my heart. So much love, so just an outpour of absolute love that surrounds me right now. I am so grateful for all of the love and the peace and the safety that surrounds me. And I am also immensely filled with grief. Always. It is, at this certain juncture in my journey, it is a inherent aspect of just where I'm at. This specific wound, I've done all of this internal work, everything else. I do most of the time, the vast majority of the time, I just operate at a baseline of peace and temperance. And even when I am feeling sadness and grief and longing for my babies, I'm still peaceful and tempered. I'm still grateful. I'm still overflowing with gratitude that I have breath, that I can breathe, that I have love around me, that I'm safe, that I'm here, right? And I think it's important for us to recognize that all of you is valid. All of your experiences are valid. You can house the entire spectrum of who you are. You can feel both blessed and eternally grateful and still feel deep, immense pain for what you've had to sacrifice to maintain your homeostasis in life and livelihood. You can fully and wholly believe and trust that everything is working out and will work out and will balance out, and you will receive justice and fairness in an ethical and valid way. But also recognize that that burden to bring these things into balance, it's not yours to carry, nor do you have the ability to carry it out, right? These things that exist outside of our realm of control, those are the things we surrender and release to God, to Source. Knowing that how energy works, and that what goes up must come down, and what comes in and must come out. And, that all things hidden in the dark eventually come out into the light for all to see. And after that happens, that's where balance occurs. That's where integration happens. When you integrate truth, the expression of anything changes, and that goes for situations, inner states, outer states, all of it. But your pain, especially if you resonate with having to separate, because the love of a mother, my love for my children, the connection that I have to them, there is no time, space, place, or situation that can sever that. It's just not possible. I feel my kids every single day. My daughter Vega, we look around our apartment at photos of her sisters and her brother daily. We pray for them. We talk to them. Anyways, I think that I rambled, not rambled, but I've shared enough. But the main point and takeaway that I want to make clear by sharing just a bit of my own interpersonal stuff is that you can feel great pain and great peace simultaneously. You can have unshakable, unwavering faith and still grieve. You can house these two opposing things simultaneously. And the truth is, people who carry the energy and spirit of temperance, in balance, in peace, often do. They are carrying these polarities all of the time, and this narrow path exists between them. It is like a balancing act constantly. It's just little pygmy space between those things. And that is where people like me and people like you exist. And that is also that's where peace is. It exists between polarities. So I said that all to say that I am immensely grateful for my solar return. To turn 34 today, I feel so blessed, so loved, so protected, so connected, so abundant, so felt, so seen, so heard by not only myself, by the beautiful connections and friendships that I've cultivated in my life. I have a birthday dinner this evening that I got invited to by my beautiful, beautiful, beautiful friends. I got an outpour of just love from the people that are currently in my experience. I woke up to the beautiful face of my baby girl, Vega. She was so sweet. She sang me happy birthday. There's so many things to be grateful for, and I'm overflowing with gratitude today, and I'm also overflowing with pain and grief. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share. I wanted to let you guys in behind the shell, because you know, that Cancerian energy, I do all of this, I do in my shell. And then after I'm done processing, then I have all of the eloquent, perfect, pretty words to share. But I kind of felt that it was necessary to let you guys in on my process while it's still processing, because it's important. I want people here, anyone who comes across this video, to know that your pain, your feelings, your gratitude, your love, your pain, your grief, they are inherently valid because they are happening, right? And so it's important that we honor all of our feelings, all of our states, even when it is in opposition and happening in tandem inside of you all at once. Honor it all. You are deserving of love. You are deserving of safety. You are deserving of protection. You are deserving of those things from yourself first, right? It's when you give those things to yourself that it opens up and creates a space and place for others to also give those things to you. And these tend to be the very same things you offer so effortlessly to others. So just make sure that you are being your greatest lover, your greatest friend, and your biggest support. Meet yourself with the same grace, non-judgment, and curiosity and desire to understand, to love as you would someone that you care for and love outside of yourself. Because that's certainly what I'm doing. That's my process today. That's how I'm spending my birthday. And yeah. Wow, I've been sharing for about over 32 minutes. So I'm sending you guys so much love to the universe and beyond. Bye.